Bad Blood Predictions. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers, talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, Bad Blood. PLE I'm pretty excited for here. Just a heads up, we are filming this a little bit early. Somebody's deciding to be a little bit selfish and go on a honeymoon. I guess he has to celebrate his life and his wife. So
yeah, when this comes out, I'll be in the Bahamas.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Yeah, it must be nice. That means that we're hoping that most of these matches, I mean, there's right now they have 6 matches announced for Bad Blood. That's normally around where Triple H keeps it, so hopefully they stayed this way. If they do add a match, apologize. We sincerely apologize. But we're going to get into our predictions today. Let's get right into it. We're going to start out Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Who do you think is going to win here?
Ah, man. This one, I say this one and then the Rhea Liv one are kind of tough because Terror Twins have been booked really strong. Not as of late, but initially those Terror Twins, they were undefeated. They could have beat Macho Man and Hulk Hogan for tag titles, just top of the line stuff. I'm going to go with Finn Balor on this one. I think Finn wins by some sort of Judgment Day interaction. I think it's a little too early to give Priest the win. You got to kind of give Judgment Day some stock again after they kind of lost so much. I also think it's important to kind of decrease some of Damian's stock. As much as we like Damian, as much as we were cheering for Damian, we've kind of, I don't want to say lost interest, but it's not as high as it once was right off of that World Heavyweight reign and him being overpowered, overbooked, just John Cena-esque. It's like, okay, let's take it down a little bit. Let's make it a little bit more believable. And then I'll get back enjoyable and being like excited about this feud again.
Yeah, I mean, we released a who should lose our matches at Bad Blood a little bit earlier, and we both talked about how for the story purposes, Judgment Day should sweep, and that gives us reason to like the Judgment Day and all this stuff. And while that's all true, I don't see any way that Damian doesn't win this match at Bad Blood. I really don't. And reason being is that there are 2 matches on this card that include the Judgment Day, and one has a title involved for it. So I guess I'm spoiling my pick there, but I don't see the Judgment Day getting a clean sweep just because we never see the Judgment Day get a clean sweep, right? They always got to have some down parts to their day. Now, would I love to see Finn win? Yes. Do I think it would make complete sense for Finn to win and would really do great things for his character and this story overall and it'd be fantastic? Yes. But I think Damian Priest is just being booked on that other level right now, and I've mentioned it in the past. I think the WWE is storing Damian Priest in a little, like, break glass if needed for Gunther. I think that they could, anytime now, they could send Damian Priest back at Gunther just for a month and be like, hey, I never got my rematch. So you got to keep him booked strong as can be, as much as I don't like the whole Terror Twins destroying Judgment Day thing. So I just think that by that logic, I'm going to go ahead and have to pick Damian Priest.
Yeah, that's quite tragic. We always talk about the Judgment Day sweeps.
Well, you didn't see it coming?
I mean, it goes back to the WrestleMania days where we're like, Judgment Day's weekend, Judgment Day, and they never do. For that alone, I'm going to still stick with Finn, and I'm going to say, you know what? I think this is the time we finally get it. They do need to bring some legitimacy to it. To me, storyline-wise, especially if there is Judgment Day interference and Damian wins, that kind of just kills it for me.
Yeah.
If Carlito and JD, and I know Dom will be out there for the Liv Rhea stuff, maybe he makes a quick appearance, probably not, but let's say he does. That's 3 or 4 Judgment Day members. And if Damian still gets the win, I'm going to be like, Jesus Christ, I can't do it, I
mean, I'm completely with you, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm completely with you. I'm with every word you're saying.
I'm just hopeful then,
I'm making my prediction that it's Damian, but if this video is titled, who do we want to win? I'm picking Finn Balor, but I can already see it coming. There's going to be J-Day, effery. Damian Priest is still going to get the upper hand. Damian Priest is walking out of this match with a W. Anyway.
God. I hate how that's probably what's going to happen.
You know it, and I know it. We're going to move it on here. We're going to do the Nia Jax match. This is the only match that isn't completely set in stone at the time of recording this in terms of her opponent. We are filming this right after the Naomi Bayley match was announced. So it will be Nia Jax taking on either Bayley or Naomi, or maybe a triple threat match. Who knows here? So does Bayley Does Nia Jax win at Bad Blood? I'm just going to go ahead and say, yeah. The only chance that she doesn't win at Bad Blood is if not Bayley beats her, not Naomi beats her, but if Tiffany Stratton cashes in that Money in the Bank and becomes champion. That is the only way she walks out of Bad Blood not champ.
Yeah, I've said it once before. I'll say it again. I do hope this is Naomi in this match. I completely agree. I'm going Nia Jax here. I think the only thing, like you said, is Tiffany. Does she cash in? Does she not? They've already started to tease some tension. At the time they were recording this, I'm sure it's just going to keep building and building and building. Maybe they save that. Maybe they don't do it here. I'm going to say that they don't, just because I think that there's enough effery in all the other matches that's going to happen that maybe you hold off on the cash in and you kind of make that a standalone thing.
Yeah, I think that it's 100% happening at some point, obviously. I think everybody thinks that. I think it will be a breaking point action for Tiffany. Because, like, Tiffany is still booked as a heelish. She's heelish. But, like, the way that Nia has been treating her kind of makes you have sympathy for her in a face-ish way. And I think that we're going to have a moment on a SmackDown very soon. I don't know if it's going to come before Bad Blood. If it does, I think there will be a cash-in. But there will be a moment on some SmackDown within the next foreseeable future where Nia does, like, put her hands on Tiff or some sort of fashion like that. Yep. Or, like she purposely cost Tiffany a match. Something to where it's, like, obvious that Nia has betrayed Tiffany. And then after that is when we can have the idea of Tiffany cashing in. And now that we're recording this early, I just hope that doesn't happen before this Bad Blood.
I just think that it won't happen because they're saying, the whole thing about the tag match and then the whole thing about Bayley and Naomi is winner is at Bad Blood versus Nia.
Yeah.
So they've been saying that. It would be weird if between now and Bad Blood they just say, all right, Tiffany, you go out there and you cash in. Like, that just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, but I'd like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always Tiffy time. Always. Anyway, let's move it on up. We're going to save the rematch. I'm going to go ahead and do Gunther versus Sami Zayn. That technically hasn't been official yet, but we all know it's official. So, Gunther versus Sami Zayn at Bad Blood. Who wins it?
Yeah, Gunther. I don't have much more I need to say. I think it's Gunther. I think maybe the more important question is, I would say, leading up to Bad Blood, how many haluva kicks does Sami Zayn get off on Gunther? We know that's the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. Gunther has no reason to lose this match. He has shown in the ring he's progressed. He's progressed on the mic as character. I've applauded that 1,000 times. This one seems to be the most set in stone. Maybe other than the Nia one. I think there's a couple matches you could go, like you said, defend Damian ones, maybe up in the air. Maybe Liv Rhea, maybe Bloodline Cody or Punk Drew. There's a couple that they could go with, but I think that the Gunther one and Nia one are pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I completely agree. This has to be Gunther. And when I say this has to be Gunther, I mean it has to be Gunther. We can't have Gunther losing this match. I get that Sami's got a big crowd backing and like the dream idea of Sami finally getting his world title and all this stuff. I mean, that's fine to have those aspirations, but like Gunther is at the point where he is the big bad villain of Raw, and Sami is the one little thing that he's got to get over. Mm-hmm. And let's just have him win it here, get that over with, push Sami away in the background back to wherever he needs to go for the bloodline, or maybe he does Jey Uso tag team stuff, whatever happens with the Braun Breaker Jey stuff. And then you have Gunther go on and fight whoever he's got next, maybe Ludwig. But this should be the official beginning of the Gunther title reign to me. Like, of course, he had the Randy Orton stuff. But this is more like Raw focused, good storytelling up into it. Get Gunther to win here.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, I know you're excited for Sami Zayn to come out the Monday after Bad Blood. Oh. I am your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Could you
imagine?
And the whole crowd goes,
it'd be awful. It'd be awful. It makes me so mad that so many people like him. I'm such a hater. Every week that man walks out, his music hits, and that whole crowd goes wild, and I just go, you're the problem. You're the problem.
Every week he says that as we watch it.
Yeah.
We watch Raw and SmackDown together every week. And every single time Sami comes out on Raw, that's what he says. He throws his pen down. I'm not writing this down.
You're the problem. All of you. I'm like the old man, pissed off. Like
back in my day, Rey Mysterio was a better babyface.
Look, I like Sami Zayn in the ring. I hate the haluva kick being as devastating as it is. It put Braun Breaker down in one kick. Side tangents of wrestling. If you didn't have the haluva kick and you had better promos, I might like to.
Shout out to Peasy in this one. Peasy in our Discord always says, "I like how short and sweet you guys keep the stuff." Well, not this time. We're just going.
Anyway, let's move it right along. We are going to circle back around to the Judgment Day because it is time to decide.
Yeah.
Liv versus Rhea, Women's World Championship, Bad Blood. Who wins it?
Yeah. I'm going to let you go first since you said you might have spoiled your prediction a little bit earlier in the video.
Yep. So, I picked Damian to win the early match in this show, which means I got to go with Liv Morgan to win this match. Not only do I have to pick it because of that logic to me, I don't think Judgment Day is clean sweeping, and I don't think that they're getting swept in this show. I think that Liv Morgan just has to win this match to set herself as being a good champion. I mean, that it's a simple word, but really, I mean, she needs this title defense for me to feel like there's any prestige to her title reign at all. If Rhea walks in after this whole months and months and months long thing of Liv saying revenge to her, revenge to her, revenge to her, revenge to her, and Rhea walks in and just takes the belt real quick, I'm going to be like, well, so much for that, huh?
So much for the revenge tour. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Liv Morgan winning this match. That's my prediction. As I said, I think it is the PLE for Judgment Day. I think they need it. Probably, well, I can't say that because I'm going to ruin a thing later. I think Judgment Day really needs it in terms of to be the top dominating faction again on Raw, the way that we have seen them at times be. I think they've almost got a little bit too Looney Tune-ish at times for me since the Terror Twins have been a thing. I think it's important to kind of reestablish that, and what better way than to do that here. I need to see Liv look strong here in this match. I don't need to see Rhea dominating the entire match. I do think we get a Raquel Rodriguez.
You're calling that?
Yeah, I'm going to call that. I'm going to go ahead and call that because it just kind of makes the most sense. I think Rhea has been getting the upper hand on Liv, and I know people are going to push back and say, well, Liv did this or Liv did this. Well, Liv has only really gotten the upper hand when it's like a Dom distraction or Judgment Day distraction.
Yep.
There's been very few times they stand there square up. Liv gets the advantage here. I think we do that not only to kind of give Liv the win here, but more importantly, to push the payoff down the road of when Rhea does win the belt. Because to me, you can't just run it right back and because then Rhea's going to obviously win that. So I think if you have Raquel feud with Rhea for a little bit, I don't know what that means for Liv. The women's title might just be held hostage, which is not good, but I think that that's kind of the route they go.
Man, we've been saying the Raquel thing. A lot of people have. It's like we came up with that. A lot of people have been speculating for the Raquel joining Judgment Day thing for a while. And there was a time when I really thought that was going to be a good idea. But as of late, God, I don't think I'd like that. I really, my best scenario here is Judgment Day gets involved or Dom gets involved middle of the match and Rhea takes him out, finally, gets her move on him or something like that. And then Liv still pulls off the win here. And the last third of the match is a Liv versus Rhea match full and full. And Liv wins. That's what I really want here. So that you can have Rhea point to a part in the match. Or maybe in the middle of the match, Dom sneaks Rhea's crutch to Liv. And Liv gets one good, crutch shot to the leg. And so you can have the payoff be about, well, you injured me during my match by hitting me with a crutch, and that there was weakening of Rhea. But at the end of the day, I really just hope it is Rhea and Liv in a ring, and Liv gets the win. She can win it in a heelish way, but I really want Judgment Day to kind of stay away from the outcome of this match.
Yeah,
and Raquel would just be a whole nother level of, well, we're definitely getting third match because that wasn't real.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of inevitable. I think almost, I say this, but with these kind of longer feuds, like the Sami Braun one, we got 3. Punk Drew, we're getting 3. I think this one is going to head to 3.
Oh yeah.
I think that's pretty easy to see. I just hope that they like the Rhea Terror Twins versus Judgment Day. Like it's been like such a focal point every single week. I think if they don't inject something like a Raquel Rodriguez, it doesn't like it ends too early. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me be real. I don't hate Raquel Rodriguez joining Judgment Day. I wouldn't like her joining it at Bad Blood and deciding the outcome of this match. If you want to do it on Raw the next night, all to you. I just hope that Liv gets the win here, and I can point to like, hey, she's my champion. Like
yeah.
she did a good job.
I would like that as well, but I just feel like that's the case because you need some buffer to when Rhea does take that title off of Liv, because I mean, there's not another woman on Raw that can do it.
Yeah, not Lyra Valkyria,
which is another problem.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, we're starting another video here. Yeah, that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
2 more matches. We're going to go with the one inside of the cage. Hell in a Cell match, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Bad Blood. Who wins it?
I'm going CM Punk.
Ooh.
I've been pretty steadfast, pretty vocal about it. I think Punk needs to win this match. I think it makes no sense for Drew to win it. You had mentioned in a video that like, or we talked about it off camera, but like it always ends at Hell in a Cell and the heel typically loses in a Hell in a Cell, right? It makes me think of the old SmackDown versus Raw, I believe like 06. Like you battle Triple H in a Hell in a Cell and whatever character you are like throws Triple H through the cell and ends up on and you celebrate on top of the cell.
Never pinned him.
Huh?
Never pinned him.
So you get that. Okay. Well, anyway, you pin him before that cutscene happens, sir. Anyway, I think Punk gets this. Punk needs it. I think we've already seen the Drew McIntyre next feud with Wade Barrett kind of potentially happening. We talk about Punk down the road. You've got Punk, Gunther potentially. We've already been hinted at that. Somebody else for Gunther, Kaiser. Eventually, I think we get Punk Rollins. So in order for Punk to kind of pick up steam and be in that upper echelon, I'm not saying Drew's not there. Drew is there, but to make CM Punk feel legitimate there with everybody else in that upper echelon, he needs to get the win here.
I would be shocked if Drew McIntyre wins this match. I really would. I think what's really pointed me toward that decision is this like recent randomness of throwing the Damian or the Wade Barrett stuff into there. Like that feels like a definite up next scenario for Drew McIntyre. And I just think that CM Punk needs a big win in a big rivalry to shoot him into the echelon of rivalries that we want him to be in. Like you said, a lot of people, whenever you talk about CM Punk, people want to see the Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania for the title, and they want to see, this and that and this. You got to get him there, and you can't have him just lose his first big rivalry coming back to the WWE. And the thing is, Drew McIntyre is putting so much great work on this, he ain't going to lose any steam. And his character is now set in stone of being this badass heel that can beat you whenever he wants, attack you whenever he wants. He can go do whatever the hell he wants, and I'm going to believe it. Hell, he could take a loss and walk out the next day and be like, okay, I'm done with Punk, but I want a title shot. And I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. And I think like not only is McIntyre that like badass, strong, booked heel, he's also like kind of like the complaining heel. He comes out every time on the mic, and he has since the beginning where like we weren't sure who was face and who was heel, but it was like, man, Drew's doing a lot of complaining. He's doing a lot of complaining every single week about they cheer for CM Punk. They cheer for CM Punk. You guys have turned your backs on me, sort of thing. Wade, you turn your back on me, sort of thing. It just fits if he gets the loss here and he can come out and he can complain again and complain and complain and complain. And then hopefully, what I'm hoping is Wade Barrett steps up into the ring and then he gets like a Claymore kick.
Any predictions on sweet spots we're going to get inside the cell? You think they're going to go on top of it?
I think you have to. Like
CM Punk's ass getting up there?
I don't know who's going up there.
Triple H is shaking at that. Like, oh, Nick Khan is shaking at that. Like, please don't die.
For me, it's just like, if it's a Hell in a Cell, I need them to go on top because if not, you could just do a cage match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they don't. Not everybody that goes inside of a Hell in a Cell gets on top.
But they should.
Normally, they lock that door.
They should. They should break it open, or like 2K, they have the wall get finisher
you
through.
gotta
Or
store
whatever.
up some finishers there.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I want them to.
You think,
I don't know what they do.
You think they're both bleeding? We getting crimson masks?
I think Punk is.
Punk's definitely bleeding.
Punk would be the one for me that bleeds. I don't think McIntyre does.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he really hasn't been a part of that era of WWE where he's busted open.
I could just see Punk like getting the win and wiping the blood off or something. I could just see that. As for like some sweet spot, I'm assuming some way, somehow, there's like a little bracelet spot.
This would be the perfect time for Drew McIntyre to use his sword. I'm thinking one of those spots where he swings at him, misses, and breaks the ropes.
You say like who's gonna climb up on the cell, but like who says God, who was it? Mankind, I think. Mick Foley had a Hell in a Cell. Somebody had a Hell in a Cell and they climbed up to the top. They started it at the top.
Well, yeah, Mick Foley did that.
Yeah. So why not just do that there?
Because CM Punk's an old man.
You can have Drew McIntyre go up there. I don't care. One of them, somebody start up top.
At least strap a bungee cord to Punk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he comes down Shawn Michaels-esque and just lands on top of the
Look
top of the
in
cell.
my eyes, there he is.
I just need to see him climb up top.
Hey, I'm with you. I hope so.
I don't care how they get there. Somebody got to go up top.
All right, final match of the night, we assume, because it includes Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
We do have the Bloodline, specifically Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, taking on Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes at Bad Blood. Who wins it?
You want to go?
I'll go.
I went first last time, I think, right?
Roman and Cody win this. We had a video come out about, this isn't about who should win it. I think the Bloodline should win it. I think it'd be a huge win for them. But I just see absolutely no way in hell that Roman Reigns' first PLE appearance since WrestleMania, he loses, especially tagged with Cody Rhodes. It'd be shocking to me, and I would absolutely love it if they lost story-wise. And it would be a great photo. But Roman Reigns paired with Cody Rhodes, I feel like I'm insane if I bet against that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about it previously on the storyline wise. It makes a whole lot of sense. And why wouldn't, it just makes sense to build the bloodline up. And you say that it would be insane to do it. And I think I'm going to do it this time. I think I'm going to go with the bloodline on this one. I think we've talked about it. I think you do need to bring the legitimacy to the bloodline. I think that they've kind of done that bits and pieces here, but now that Roman's back, I feel like Roman and Cody have continually got the upper hand each and every time they step in the ring. I think this is going to be a lot of effery, a lot of interference, a lot of just overbooked madness. I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. I think that Cody ends up taking the pin. I think Fatu probably pins Cody. We've seen Solo pin Cody before. Everybody, at least us and people we interact with and people on the internet, social medias, they see Fatu in the same light that we do, that he is a top guy. What better way to kind of really firmly establish that on WWE TV than to have him pin Cody? And then you can have Roman and Cody kind of fight over the fact that, Cody was the reason they lost. Maybe Cody oversteps his bounds and costs them. And then you can just run Cody Roman back at Crown Jewel. I think that's the fastest way to kind of pencil something in for that. I just think it just makes all the sense in the world. Now, am I insane for picking them? Yes. Do I see Superman and Batman losing together? Not really, but it just, the more I talk about it, I feel like if Roman and Cody get the win, it's kind of just like, what? Like all the energy all the wind gets taken out of the sails if they just come back and they get the win,
No, you're 100% correct. Story-wise, you write this down in a book, like Bloodline has to win this because it would be such a great win that would boost them into another stratosphere of pinning Cody, Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. It'd be insane, especially if they did somehow, some way, if they stacked them somehow. That would be one of the best moments in wrestling history for me. That'd be nuts if you could see like Fatu dragging Roman on top of Cody and then letting Solo pin him while he's doing his, I love you, Solo. You know what? Book it. If they win, that's how they're doing it. It would be absolutely insane. But I just, from a standpoint of, WWE being a business, I just personally don't see any way that Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes don't win. I don't have any backup story-wise as to why they're winning this match. I just personally feel like WWE is not going to let them lose this quickly, especially Roman, who's fighting in his first match since losing at WrestleMania. So
yeah, I mean, who knows, right? I think if you think years back, there was like a 6-man tag. It was 3 teams, and it was like Cena and Taker and versus DX versus somebody else.
Oh yeah.
And Jericho maybe, and like Cena and Taker ended up getting the loss. Like those were the 2 world title holders at the time. Kind of what you get here. I mean, you had Roman holding the belt for 4 years. Cody's holding it right now. I just think that like some way, somehow Cody takes the pin. Like it just makes more sense to me because Cody has shown that he'll do it. He has shown he lost to Solo.
Yep.
And it keeps like Cody doesn't lose any stock from that. It's still Cody Rhodes. It still protects Roman Reigns from that side of things. It's just really hard to envision those 2 losing that.
Now, here's the real question. Do we get the bloodline returns at Bad Blood? Do we get the Jimmy? Do we get the Jay? Do we get the Wise Man?
That's tough. I think we get Jimmy. Jay, I'm not so sure about. I'm going to go Jimmy. I'm going to go Jay no right now. I think some way, somehow you book that as to where like you have Roman and Jimmy and the bloodline still outnumbers them. And you, like I said, you still have some time to build that up between Bad Blood and Survivor Series. You do have Crown Jewel, which I said is probably Cody Roman. That's what I've seen a little bit of. So you still have time to get Jay and Sami from Raw to SmackDown some way, somehow. So I think maybe just Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Jimmy, maybe Wise Man to introduce Jimmy, maybe. Like I could see midway through the match, you hear a "ladies and gentlemen," and then he introduces Jimmy. But I think this is. I would bet on Jimmy showing up.
Yeah.
And do you think though, if Jimmy shows up, does that change your prediction on the outcome?
No, because I think you have Tama Tonga and Tangaloa.
Yeah,
take him out.
Yep, exactly.
I think me booking this makes no sense at all, but I kind of want to see this because I want to give Paul Heyman his props and I want the pop for Paul.
For Paul.
You have Sami and Jay already, like not Bad Blood. I'm talking just like a SmackDown down the road.
Oh, okay.
You have Roman, Jimmy, Jay, and Sami like all in the ring together, right? And they're like, the crowd is excited. You can feel it. And then all of a sudden you just hear, "Oh, you guys forgot about me?" And then it's just Paul Heyman walking out and he does a little like strut. Just something like
hair
that.
freshly dyed.
yeah, just something like that. Like I want Paul to get the biggest pop of everybody.
Oh yeah, whenever Paul Heyman comes back, I mean, he's the best. He's the absolute best. So we're not betting on. I would bet on return, but you're not betting on a return.
I'd bet on Jimmy.
You bet on return?
Yeah.
Well, those are our predictions for Bad Blood. This is finally a show that feels unpredictable to me. Finally, I think it's the first PLE this year where I look at the sheet and I'm like, 2 matches are obvious to me, Nia and the Gunther match.
Mm-hmm.
The rest, throw them up in the air for me.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. We talked about it with our who should, like our storyline wise video. It's like, well, they could do this, or it makes the most sense to do this, but as we've seen with WWE, like sometimes they don't do that. So
and they know better than us.
Yeah. So who knows? Like this is one of the ones that like we talk about the B PLEs being like must see or not. Like I feel like this one actually is. It's the return of Bad Blood. It's a big time pay-per-view back in the day. Like they're gonna make this worth it. They're gonna make this one count. I think they're really gonna show out and really surprise some people with it.
I really hope so. It'll be the day that I get home from my honeymoon. So we're gonna have our review out ASAP after it. Cannot wait for it. Looking forward. Anyway, those are our predictions. Let us know your predictions in the comments below. And follow us on all of our socials. COD WrestlePod. COD WrestlePod. Follow our podcast wherever you get your podcast. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, etc. And if you want to come talk to us, follow our Discord and our link tree. We talk about Raw, SmackDown, every PLE just during the day. You want to talk about wrestling, pop in there, start talking. Somebody will talk to you, including us. A lot of fun. And follow all of our other socials while you're at it. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.